Welcome and what is up there, everybody? This is Casper Trader back here with another video today. And in today's video, we'll be doing a week 14 portfolio update where we're trying to grow our portfolio from $2,000 up to $100,000 as fast as possible. And as you can tell by the title of the video, this is currently week 14. So it's been a while since we started, but we've also grown our portfolio a decent amount. And that can be by both adding cash to it, which I'm perfectly fine with, because that's just the whole point of snowballing your money. You got to add more for it to grow. And we also did make a decent amount in capital gains since we started the challenge, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm super hyped to get into this video. And we're going to be talking about how our portfolio has performed the last week, the stocks that we did buy, and as you can tell, we did go on a huge buying spree because of our really low cash balance now compared to what it was last week. I bought a ton of stocks and I'm super excited to talk about. And at the end, we're also going to go over these stocks that I'm looking to buy in the next few weeks, probably next week actually, because I didn't really have an opportunity to buy them on the day that the stock market dipped down so much. But yeah, before we get into the video, I'd really appreciate you guys could smash that like button below and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys have not yet. I'd really appreciate it a ton. We post videos weekly of our portfolio updates, and then I also post some tutorials and other types of videos about Robinhood. If that's something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe. Alright guys, so our portfolio in the last week has performed not too well. It's down around $150 or 3.22%. In the last month, we're actually still up around $270 or 6.2%. Last 3 months, we're up $800 or 21%. And the last year, we're down $60 or 1.2%. And in all time, we are down 14% or close to $750. So, it's going all right. It's not going too well, but I can't complain because the whole stock market did fall. It's not because of my bad stock picks or anything like that. It's just because the whole stock market had a pretty big dip on Thursday and Friday. So yeah, that's basically why. And because of that dip, I saw it as a really good buying opportunity. So I did end up scooping up a bunch of shares of different stocks, which I'll be going over. I'm not going to be going over the stocks that I maybe bought $5, $10, maybe $15 worth. I'll be going over the stocks that I bought like more worth, like maybe $20 to $200 area where I put that much money in. And we'll start off with VOO, which for those who don't know is basically tracks the overall stock market. It has a pretty low expense ratio, so some consider it a better buy than SPY, which is really similar to this, just because it has a lower expense ratio. If I heard that from other people correctly. And I have currently around $30 invested into it. I'm down around $1. And if you guys have watched my previous videos, what I did decide to do with VOO is if the stock market does fall on a certain day, I will buy $5 worth of VOO. And if it goes up, I will buy $3 worth of it. And that's basically how I've been buying recently, just to get a decent amount of money averaged into VOO, which tracks the overall stock market. You seriously can't go wrong with this if you're holding this for the next 5-10 years. So that's kind of what I'm doing just to ground my portfolio a little bit, and I was doing that to invest a little bit of my cash. Well, now I did go crazy and buy a lot of other stuff with it, but this was just what I was using to get a little bit diversified with my portfolio. And yeah, that's basically what we did. On Thursday, we did buy $10 worth just because I saw a great opportunity instead of $5 worth. And that's basically what we're doing with the VOO. And the next stock that we did buy is not Apple. We bought a little bit of Facebook. I think we bought like $20 worth of Facebook if we take a look at our history. Yep, on June 11th, we bought $20 worth of Facebook to build our position up a little bit. I tried to get 3 full shares. That's basically why I did it. But we're currently up around $94 or 15.8% on our holding in Facebook, which isn't too bad. I definitely can't complain. And I'm super happy that we are at a really decent average cost in Facebook, because I saw a lot of potential in this stock, and I'm happy I bought into it when it was at a lower price, because now it's at an okay price, but it's not something I'm willing to throw money at. If I have to, I might throw maybe like a few dollars worth of fractional shares into it every few days, but nothing massive. So I'm really happy with the position we have with it right now. And I'm not looking to make any big changes unless the stock market does dip down even more in the next week or two. Alright, the next stock that we're going to be going over is Microsoft. And we did buy I think this is the stock that we bought the most of, or the stock that I'm going to talk about after this. But we did buy a total of 100 for no. So if we look at all the history, which I don't want Robinhood to take forever to load that, but we did buy a full share of Microsoft because before we only had one share, and now we are up to 2 shares, which I'm pretty happy about. We bought in at a really nice price. Our average in is at a phenomenal place. I can't complain about where we're at. I think we bought it at a really good price, and in total we're up around $40 on Microsoft. And with Microsoft, it's one of those stocks that I just see growing so much in the next few years. In the last 5 years, it has outgrown Apple, Facebook. I don't know about Amazon. I didn't check Amazon, but a lot of these big stocks that grow pretty fast that people consider as growth stocks, Microsoft has outgrown a lot of them. So I definitely don't see Microsoft stopping with this huge growth streak. So I'm just looking to invest as much as possible, just slowly averaging into Microsoft, just because it has such a great growth streak and it pays out a okay dividend, which I can't complain about. So that is what we have done with Microsoft. And if we move on to the third stock that we bought, which I think we might have actually bought the most of, it might be a tie with Microsoft, but we did buy a full share of Visa. And for those who don't know, I'm actually a pretty big fan of Visa stock. I invested into it a pretty long time ago, and then I sold my shares. I think it was the 2018 little, I wouldn't call it a crash, but a little dip in the market where I got scared. I panic sold. And I do regret that because ever since that time, where Visa was at $124 per share, now it's sitting at almost $200 per share. And I had multiple shares invested into this. So I'm kind of mad at myself that I did do that, but I'm happy that I'm still able to buy it right now because even at this little dip price, I'm happy to buy this stock because it's just such a great growth stock, and it's looking I think it's going to grow a decent amount in the next 5 years, and combined with its tiny dividend that's going to be reinvested in, I think it's just a great buy and hold for the next few years. This isn't one of those like risky stocks that I'm buying that are going to be just in my portfolio for maybe a few months or a year. This is one of those that I'm planning on holding on for a long time, and I just see a lot of potential in it. Overall, we're up around $3.60 in it, or $1.80, 1.95%. So that's not too bad. I'm happy that we bought it at a decent price. And now moving on to the stock that we actually bought, I think the most of actually. We bought the most of the stock. I stand corrected, my bad. But this is one of those short-term positions that I did take. And this brings me back to my swing trading days where I used to swing trade TQQQ and SQQQ. For those who don't know, this is a 3x ETF where, for example, the overall stock market goes up 1%, then TQQQ goes up 3%, and vice versa. If the stock market falls 1%, then TQQQ goes down 3%. And I did buy a little bit of this. I think I bought one at the peak here because I just saw the stock market was growing so much, and then boom, it crashed, and I bought 2 shares when it dipped down. We're at an average cost of almost $90 per share, down around $15, which is not too bad. I see it hopefully recovering within the next week or two, and hopefully we can get the price, we can get our selling point close to $100. So we'd make a nice maybe $30, maybe $25 profit from this little swing trade if it all goes well. But who knows, maybe the stock market will have a second crash. I don't know. That's just up to the future to decide. But that's just basically what I'm planning to do with my shares at TQQQ. We have a $250 position, and I'm just swing trading this. Probably whenever it gets back out of this dip, I'm just selling, and I'm out. Not a long-term hold for sure, because this is an ETF that decays, if I'm correct. So it's not something you want to hold for the long term. And yeah, those are basically the stocks that I did buy over the last week. And now we're going to go quickly and briefly over the stocks that I'm looking to buy in the next week or two. And there's not a lot of stocks. There's around 3 stocks that I'm looking to buy. Number 1 is maybe a little bit of Apple, and I'm not really a big fan of buying Apple at $340 per share, which is a little bit pricey in my opinion. But if it does dip down a little bit, I might dump in maybe $40-50 into Apple for just some nice long-term growth. And I might be looking to buy a little bit more of Facebook as well. Not much, again, maybe $40-50. But the stock that I'm looking to buy most of, there's two stocks that I'm looking to buy most of, are Microsoft and Skyworks. And I'll explain both of them very briefly. Microsoft, like I said before when I was talking about the stock, it just has a phenomenal growth record. It's been growing like crazy in the last 5 years, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon, and it has a 1% dividend yield. What can you ask for more? So that's why I'm looking to buy some more Microsoft. It's at a decent price, in my opinion, and it just has some really good stats. And Skyworks, which I wasn't able to buy, unfortunately, in the last week, I'm looking to buy some Skyworks, and the reason for that is because it's in the 5G space, and it's been growing like crazy, and I definitely see a lot of potential ahead of it. Like, I could see the stock hitting 150, 175 in no time. Like, I mean, next year or two, it might be able to hit those kind of prices. And if the 5G sector does boom, then this stock will definitely greatly benefit from it. Maybe if I hold this stock for the next 3 to 5 years, it'll maybe hit close to maybe $200 per share, but that's just up to the future to tell. And yeah, we only have one share in it right now, and I'm definitely looking to buy some more of it. Probably maybe even next week, since it's still on a little bit of a dip. I might be looking to buy a share or two even. So yeah, those are stocks I'm looking to buy in the next week, and that's basically how our portfolio has performed. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.